Thank you, my loves, for joining another episode of Keisha's Corner. Today, we're going to be talking about gastric sleeve surgery. Why did I do it? Would I do it again? And the trials and tribulations of having the surgery. So if you're interested, please stick around and watch this video. And if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, like and share this video so that we can grow this channel as I grow on. And if you're interested in the content that I bring on this channel with lifestyle, health, fashion, and my journey, please go ahead and click the subscribe button so you know when I'll upload fashion content or any content, and like and share so that this channel can grow as we grow together. Thank you for joining this video, and let's get right into what is. All right, so let's jump right into what is vertical sleeve gastrectomy. And the gastrectomy is a surgical weight loss procedure in which the stomach is reduced about 15% of its normal size. So they literally take you under to go ahead and remove a portion of your stomach, and they remove the portion that tells you that you're hungry, or, you know, that you won't have that much food to hold in that stomach. Can you stretch it back out? You can. Can people learn how to maneuver the pouch? They can. It's all about what you do it's a tool. So it's really all about what you're going to do to make that tool work for you. Why I chose vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I had gastric sleeve in 2012. I chose it because I had went to my gynecologist, as we all should, and we got checked with my annual PAP. My PAP came back with positive cells, and my family history is, I have a family history of ovarian, breast, prostate, and colon cancer. And one of my other siblings had already had one of those forms of cancer. And 10 years ago, here pops my turn to have a positive PAP that showed there were cancerous cells. And I have a health issue, and it is called protein C, protein S deficiency. Protein C, protein S deficiency causes blood clots. It is where my blood will literally just start clotting out of nowhere. So at the age of 10, and if anybody doesn't know, I did express this in a previous video that I am 48 years old. So at the age of 10, I developed my first blood clot, which was rare. Because most children don't develop this, or protein C and protein S deficiency typically comes out in women over the age of 40. It is a familial disease, but most of the family members that have developed blood clotting disorders all developed it over the age of 40. I was at the great young age of 10 when I experienced my first blood clot in my lungs, legs, abdomen, and arm. It was a journey, which led to me not being able to do a lot of things, a lot of sports. I wanted to be a police officer. Yes, I wanted to be 5, but I could not because of my medical condition. So with that, it was also a risk for me to have a hysterectomy. And by me not being quite active, not being, really didn't move a lot, because it was always a fear of me being injured and throwing a blood clot and subsequently not having a timely passing. So the doctor suggested that I go see a bariatric surgeon, because at the time in 2012, I was at not my highest weight, but my second, my lowest highest weight. So this is really, okay. So the doctor that I had went to decided that the best option for me to do is to have gastric sleeve or gastric bypass surgery, because I was high risk to have a total hysterectomy. And I had to have a total hysterectomy because that was the only way that they can cure the disease that was spreading into my body. And so they sent me to a gastric doctor, and he was simply amazing. And he knew that we had a race against the clock, but because of insurance purposes, the insurance would not go ahead and approve it, even though that I had this condition that literally could cause my life to end if it spread and continued to spread. If, it started to metastasize, then it could lead to ultimately passing away. But as insurances, they make you go through the steps to do one surgery just to do another surgery to try to, prolong your life. So we went through the steps. With gastric sleeve or bypass, whatever you choose. With gastric sleeve or bypass, whatever doctor you choose, they always want you to go through the steps, which is they want to make sure that you know what you're getting into. So they send you through all the health hooplas. They send you through the psychiatric doctors. They want you to change your eating habit. They want you to do everything. My highest documented weight was 502 pounds. When I went to have this gastric sleeve done, my first meeting of the doctor, I was 400 pounds. I was able to lose weight because I literally started to change my eating habits anyway, and trying to, incorporate some movement, was walking with a group to, bring the weight down as much as I can, just because it was just unhealthy. It was just unhealthy, and it was just getting worse, and it was actually bringing on more clots. I'm a stroke survivor, so it was just bringing on a lot, just by holding on to that weight and not kind of releasing some things. But we'll talk about, trauma that causes weight, because those are hand in hand. So I went through the steps, and in the times of going through the steps, I actually lost an additional 70 pounds prior to surgery. So I ended up losing an additional 70 pounds prior to having the gastric sleeve. So I've had the gastric sleeve in 2012. I was positive in 2012, and I had to have a total hysterectomy that would save my life. But we also had to have a battle with blood clots, which actually was a trigger, because if you go cutting, you're gonna bleed. And for me, I'm not gonna bleed, I'm gonna clot. So we had to also battle that, which resulted in me having another procedure before having the gastric sleeve, which was actually putting a filter, an IVC filter in the leg that would stop the blood clots from coming straight up the leg and going straight to the heart. So health challenges, and more health challenges just to get to a healthier, better living. After we did the IVC filter, we finally have a surgery date. So it's official. We're going in, we have a surgery date, and we're ready. We're going to move forward. The morning of the surgery, I was officially down 77 pounds. So I was down to 387 in 2012 from 500. Documented, I was in the 4s, but we were down to 387 the morning of surgery. So the morning of surgery, everything went well. So uneventful. The blood clots didn't happen. Thank God. Everything went well. We were on the journey, on the quest, came out on the other side, was up walking in 5 days. Happy, surgeon's happy, everyone's happy, I'm happy, still living, still thriving, let's go. One hurdle down, another one to go. So of course we had to wait the full 8 weeks of healing before we can schedule to go ahead and have the total hysterectomy, because that was the goal of why we were even doing this, because it would bring down my risk of not surviving surgery. Because there was no way that we can go into surgery at that weight with that much pressure on the body or the heart. So surgery was a success. That was the reason why we did VSG surgery. Okay. So after having the hysterectomy and having a lot of trauma and a lot of things that actually put me at risk, we were 3 months post-op VSG, and now we were just a week from having the hysterectomy. Having the VSG actually saved my life with the hysterectomy. Subsequently, after all of that, it took 8 months to get back to healing. We had other complications that caused me to have my ureter nipped, trying to stop the bleeding, and a whole lot of complications that literally set me down for a while. Once I started to get back up at roughly 6 to 8 months, I was still losing weight because I was restricted with my eating, but wasn't able to really do the exercise and the working out like I wanted to do because I was out there. In my 1 year surgiversary, and I was down to 245, and that was coming from my highest weight of being 5, my 400 plus being the documented weight, and then going into surgery at 380 plus. Coming out of that, I was pleased getting back to life. Things started feeling better. My legs weren't really feeling better, but things were still feeling better. Because of so much trauma with blood clots and different things like that. I have a lot of bruising, a lot of swelling on my legs, limbs, and everything else. Like I said, I've been in a medically induced coma, the birth of my first child. I've had stroke. I have battled with a host of health issues. So after going through all of that and coming upon my surgiversary, my 1 year surgiversary, I ended up being 245 pounds, which was my lowest weight that I've been in probably high school. Because I think I was 245 as a sophomore in high school, or 238, somewhere around there. But it was the mid twos, and started to feel better. Things started to get better. Along, my weight stayed consistent. I never actually went below that 245 mark. I went back to living life. All of a sudden, 2 years post-op, I started having issues with GERD. So the acid reflux kicked in. I was unable to keep food down that I could keep down prior to. Now, we all come to find out, anybody who's ever had this surgery does know that things that you've eaten prior to surgery, your stomach can no longer tolerate. Some people call their stomachs, they name their stomach. So I used to say, Nunu doesn't like that. But your eating changes, and how you are going, your food is going to accept, how your stomach's going to accept food definitely changes after the surgery. 2 years out, I started to struggle a lot with acid reflux. And I literally just was like, okay, well, this is just what it is. Things started creeping in. Weight, sadness, depression, feeling like the world is ending. My world is changing, not really sure what's happening. It wasn't cool to go back outside. In 2020, I could say was one of the hardest and uncertain times that I faced, even with having a positive diagnosis and having to have a total hysterectomy, which as a woman, it makes you feel like, you know, that your reproductive organ is what it is. But at the age that I was at, 10 years ago, I was just 38 years old, and I've already had 3 children, 3 beautiful, healthy children. So, you know, having children was, you know, was done for me. So, I was okay to have that hysterectomy, but it still takes a toll, and it takes a part of you when they have to take things away from you. And it does change. Hormones change, adjustments change, everything changes, your hair changes, it all changes. But I still muddled through until 2020 hit. In 2020, when they say things come in your life and they literally shake your foundation, they shook my foundation. We were all inside, all income lost, everything just took a complete halt. Subsequently, I had COVID before it was called COVID. In February 2020, in late February of 2020, I was sick. I was making promises to God that I probably still haven't fulfilled. I was that sick and could not feel shakes, night sweats, fever, couldn't stay awake, couldn't eat, couldn't do anything. Ended up going to the emergency room, and of course they said, we think it's the flu. We don't know what it is, but we're going to treat you for the flu, and we're going to hope that that's it. Coughed, breathing delayed, and because of my history with blood clots, I ended up having asthma. So that's another thing that I battle with, and especially at my highest weight, the asthma was worse. Then 2 weeks after starting to feel better, the government shuts down, and here's a thing called COVID. During that quarantine time, sis was eating, okay? We was all eating. We were snacking, we were cooking, we were grilling, we was ordering, we were just getting it delivered. We were doing everything. Thus, tipped the scales back over 300 pounds. Thus, the scales skipped back to over 300 pounds. I was eating all the wrong things, doing all the wrong things. I was definitely cheating the tool, drinking every day, trying to just drown the state that I was in mentally. And then physically watching my body morph back to what it was. It was a different type of isolation. It was a mental isolation, and it was hard. That same year, but I'm not a healthcare professional, so I can't tell you everything about VSG, but I will tell you that there are pros and there are cons. And for me, if I had to do it all over again, I would. Because I chose the right doctor. I chose the right tool. And he has saved my life 10 years ago. He saved my life 6 months ago. Because by him providing health care, operative word care, he was able to find things out that the doctors did not look for. He was able to facilitate me getting the additional help that I need in the other areas of my health that I wouldn't have known. And by the time we would have figured it out and found out everything, it might have been too late. All of the issues that I endured, to me, they're worth it, because Loss is something that I'm always going to face and I'm always going to fight. And that's going to be a battle that's going to take me from here to the grave. But VSG is something that I tell you that certain people ask me, would you do it again? And I say, yes. And they say, after everything you went through, would you do it again? Yes. Not just for the weight loss, but it's for everything that I've gained from the weight loss and that I'm gaining from the weight loss. And that I'm learning about myself, and I'm learning that it's okay for things not to be okay. And that's what I'm learning in 2022. It's been a rough 2 years. It's been a very rough 2 years, but I'm battling back. I'm going to be sharing more about me on this channel. I'm going to be sharing more about my weight loss. I'm going to be sharing more about me learning the makeup game, because I've never been that girl. So I'm actually ready and looking forward to getting outside. Things have changed a lot. I'm like, normally when something great happens, like I passed my real estate exam, I call my mother and she was on the phone and she's texting me, telling me how proud she is of me. Even though she's not here in the physical, I know that she's there telling me, yeah, that's my girl. That's my baby. So yeah, I will tell you, VSG, it's a hard test. It's a wave. Ride it. Get you a really good support team. Hit me in the comments. I will answer any questions that you have, whether it's about my protein CNS deficiency or VSG surgery, or my complications, or about the journey that I'm about to go through and figuring out what we're going to do to the girls. And if there's something that we, whether I'm going to choose to have a mastectomy, a lumpectomy, or we are just going to ride the course and see what happens. But no matter what your journey is, whether it's VSG or not, just know if you see somebody that says they have VSG surgery, they did not take the easy way out. Not at all. Not at all. And if you see someone that's on that journey, you don't know what they're battling. You don't know what they're facing. So try to give somebody the same grace that you will want someone to give you. So with that being said, this has been a very long vlog, longer than I expected. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I want to thank you guys for taking out a moment of your day to watch this vlog. If you're interested in learning more about my journey, more about my life, where I'm going, fashion, and how I'm ready to get back outside and be a better me, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe so that you will be notified every time I upload a video. Again, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day, have a blessed week, and be a blessing to somebody. Thank you.